study a circuit, learn about other people's electronic designs, and even test batteries.
The multimeter has 3 parts: a display, a selection knob, and 3 ports.
The display has 4 digits.
The selection knob allows the multimeter to read different things such as milliamps or current, voltage, and resistance.
The 3 ports are COM, which stands for common, and is almost always connected to ground or negative of the circuit. 10 amps is the port used when measuring large currents, greater than 200 milliamps. Milliamps voltage ohms is the port that allows the measurement of current up to 200 milliamps, voltage, and resistance.
Well, how do we measure voltage using a multimeter?
Let's measure the voltage on a battery. Plug the black probe into the COM port and the red probe into the milliamps volts ohms port. Set the multimeter to 2 volts in the direct current DC range. Almost all portable electronics use direct current, not alternating current.
Connect the black probe to the battery's ground or negative and the red probe to the battery's power or positive. Squeeze the probes with a little pressure against the positive and negative terminals of the battery.
What happens if you move the black probe to the battery's power or positive and the red probe to the battery's ground or negative? The reading of the multimeter is simply negative.
The multimeter measures voltage in relation to the common probe. It measures how much voltage there is on a positive pin of the battery compared to the negative or common pin of the battery.
If we switch the probes, we define positive as the common or 0 point.
So that is how we measure voltage. How do we measure resistance with a multimeter?
First, we have to set the selection knob to the 20 kilo ohms setting. We are going to pick out a random resistor. Lightly hold the probes against the resistor legs. The meter will read one of the 3 things, 0.00 or 1, or the actual resistor value.
If the meter reads 0.67, this means the resistor has a value of 670 ohms. Remember, you are in the 20 kilo ohms or 20,000 ohms, so you need to remove the decimal 3 places to the right to 670 ohms.
If the multimeter reads 1 or displays OL, it is overloaded. You will need to try a higher mode such as 200 kilo ohms or 2 mega ohms. This just means you need to use a higher range.
If the multimeter reads 0.00 or nearly 0, you need to lower the mode to 2 kilo ohms or 200 ohms.
So that's how you measure resistance with a multimeter.
Now, how do you measure current using a multimeter?
To measure current, you need to interrupt the flow of current within the circuit so that it passes through the multimeter.
The selection knob needs to be set to the measured current, and the red probe is plugged into the volts, ohms, milliamps port.
When selecting the range of current to measure, be sure that the maximum for the particular range chosen is above the anticipated, otherwise you will damage the multimeter.
To make a measurement, each probe from the multimeter needs to be connected to the circuit.
When finished taking the current measurement, it is important to turn the selection knob to the maximum voltage position so that if the multimeter is accidentally connected to something, there's little chance of damaging the multimeter.
Now you know the basics of how to use a multimeter.